Welcome to our 4 Fundamentals series. In our journeys, we have found that all athletic movement can be distilled or regressed back to these 4 fundamental basic movements. Mastering these basic movements will make your body move better. Whether you're trying to feel better or become more athletic, these are things that you need to be able to do easily. And if you're looking to take your game to the next level, we've included some advanced versions of each of these basics so you can see where they scale up to. In the first part of the series, we're going over the cartwheel. We're gonna teach you how to go from 0 to doing a slow, smooth cartwheel. So you may be asking, why a cartwheel? Aren't they just for kids and gymnasts? No. You need to be able to do a cartwheel because you gotta be comfortable with getting upside down a bit. Knowing how to orient your body when you're upside down is very important. And something really important to understand about the cartwheel is that you're always gonna do same arm, same leg. So the cartwheel always will scale up to any movement that you do with the same arm and same leg at the same time, as opposed to a crawl, which we'll go over later, where it's opposite arm and leg. Let's get to it. So before we get to the full cartwheel, we gotta get comfortable with having the hands on the ground and the feet off the ground. So simple drill here, we'll put the hands on the ground, make sure your hands flat, none of this weird stuff where only the fingers are on the ground, and we're just gonna hop from one leg to the other. So we're gonna take a little hop and switch feet, hop, switch feet. So we just have this moment where you have all your weight in your hands. From there, all we do is just try to get more and more vertical with the torso. So the key here is to start to straighten the leg out a bit. We use this leg as momentum to get a little bit of extra height there. All right, so once you feel comfortable with those simple drills, now we're gonna start working on the full cartwheel. So all a cartwheel is exactly what we just did, but now we're gonna travel from one side to the other. So we'll place the hands on the ground and we'll do that same thing, but now I'm gonna try to jump from this foot to this foot, but I'm gonna land over there. So I'm traveling some distance here from side to side. And the cool thing is, you haven't even started to use momentum yet, where you throw your upper body towards the ground and your legs will naturally come up. So now we're gonna start to utilize that a bit. We're going to place the hands and then immediately hop across. And you'll notice much easier to get lift in the legs. And I'm not even going over the top yet. I'm still just hopping around. So watch my angle. And from there, all we need to do is start making that circle bigger and bigger until eventually it's not a circle anymore. You're going over the top. So I'll show a couple, a little bigger, over the top. One thing I find really helpful for beginners learning the cartwheel is understanding when you start going over the top, the direction that you should face. Now this is one type of cartwheel. There's plenty of types, but often the easiest one to learn first is one where I'm gonna face the direction I'm gonna go. I'll place my hands parallel to the direction I'm facing, and then I'm gonna actually come out facing the opposite direction. I'll start facing this way, I place my hands, and I finish facing that way. My final piece of advice, and I think this is the one that gets overlooked the most with a basic cartwheel, is taking time to learn how to land properly. I should be able to play your cartwheel in forward and reverse and not be able to tell which one I'm seeing. Oftentimes when I see people learning the cartwheel, they're so focused on the entrance, they forget to land softly. So it might look something like this. Whereas what we'd like to see is just as I enter, see how I'm entering with my knees bent and I straighten the knee. That should look the same in reverse going the other direction. So I want to receive the ground. As I land, I bend my knees and receive. Nice and soft. All right, so you've got your basic cartwheel mastered. Congratulations. Now you're ready to start trying to slow it down. So we're gonna start out with a position that you need to get really comfortable in. We're gonna start out as if I were gonna go into my cartwheel. So I'm usually gonna have one leg turned open, and then I'm gonna place my hands as if I was going to do a cartwheel, but I don't actually do my cartwheel. I'm just gonna come into this half cartwheel open position, okay? I'm gonna try and really get my body in a big curve. I wanna see this whole side in a huge side bend, right? Here. And really open the side. Get comfy here. This is an important position to master. All right, so once you've got that half cartwheel position mastered, we're gonna start floating the foot off the ground. So go into your half cartwheel, get a good solid position, and then you're gonna try and lift that foot off the ground just a little and come right back down. Just to float. And try and control it as best you can, nice and slow. Getting control over that is huge for learning how to do the slow cartwheel. All right, now you're ready for the full slow cartwheel. The only thing we're gonna change about what we just did is you're gonna go from one side to the other, half cartwheel to half cartwheel, with that momentary straddle handstand in the middle. You don't have to have a straddle handstand to be able to do this. You just need to be able to transition from side to side. So I go into my half cartwheel, I give my float, but then I just switch legs. Float, switch legs. Right? So half cartwheel to half cartwheel, and there's a moment where you float in the middle. Half cartwheel, float, switch. Cool. And then eventually, if you're working on handstands, you can start to really hold that straddle handstand in the middle. Half cartwheel, straddle handstand, half cartwheel, and out. And now you can do a slow, beautiful cartwheel. You can even play with bending the legs, seeing how that feels. Have fun with it. If you're working on the cartwheel, I recommend just putting on a timer, 10 minutes and go. Remember, it's really important to practice both sides because almost every single person is gonna have a good side and a bad side. So don't let your bad side get too bad. Make sure to check out the rest of the series so that you can master all of the fundamental movements. We're a new channel, so every like, comment, subscription, notification, we appreciate it so much. And for real, who needs a gym?